The baptism example is a great one, right? I love that. I agree. Like the kind of the testimony, like people sharing their testimony, whether it's around when they're baptized or even maybe later on in life, right? Like that story is a one that I think every church kind of just automatically understands. Like hearing somebody's story of coming to Christ and their conversion, right, is the person's testimony. And churches have done that in various ways, but even just from stage, right? Having someone come up and kind of share their story just like to the audience. Um, but helping them help the person tell their story in a really effective way with the elements you described, and it kind of like drawing that out. Like, do you find that, hey, here's the way to get people to get their full story out. And then here's how you kind of edit that into a video that really is compelling. And, like someone can just share and it may not be as compelling just because of how it comes out or what part of their story they actually get out when maybe there's other stuff that you want to help draw out that would be better. And, how do you help churches do it better? I guess is what I'm asking.
Using that baptism kind of example, that testimony as kind of a template to how to explain that. I think two of the elements that I mentioned, kind of the four: context, character, um, conflict, and change. The context is pretty obvious because they're like, hey, we're watching a baptism video. The character is pretty obvious because it's like, hey, this is the person who's coming to give their life to Christ. So those second two are really the ones that can often be overlooked within storytelling, and that you can maybe really try to draw out of the person. Again, depending on who that individual is telling their story, might be easier, more difficult, but it's natural to want to shy away from conflict. Um, it's going to look different for everybody's, the baptism testimonial. Like, hey, I just kind of was ambivalent about life and I didn't really care. I didn't have a purpose. And now I found Jesus. Sometimes you hear baptismal testimonials that, they're overcoming major things, addictions or physical injury or something like that. So those are the ones that really stand out, but it's primarily because the before and after picture is so starkly different, right? The before picture is really where that conflict is, where that challenge and that problem that they're facing. They meet Christ, and that helps them transform and change into what that after picture looks like. So really, I think even thinking through that pretty simple and straightforward shift from point A to point B can be really, really important. And so when you're, again, if you're coaching somebody through what to say during their baptism testimonial, or even if it's a story about an event or a story about a ministry or something like that, um, just drawing on those two elements and really truly understanding, hey, what was the conflict? Why did you seek out coming to this event or giving your life to Christ? And then what was the result after that? How was your life better? How has it been transformed and changed as a result of that? And if you kind of put those two elements in there, a lot of the rest will start to take